Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today I'm taking a look at one of the expansions to Sub Terra. This one is Extraction. Sub Terra is a cooperative exploration game in which you are going to be discovering tiles in a cavern that you have fallen into and you are looking for your way out. Extraction adds a twist to that, adds sort of a different module. You're going to get one new character in here that you can choose to play with, but the idea is that you are going back in to acquire these biosamples that you are then going to escape with in order to study these beasts, these horrors that live down there in the cave. Let me show you what comes in here. I'm not going to be going over the base game itself, so if you don't know how to play, this might not make a whole lot of sense to you. However, I do have a review of the base game out there, so you can always go and check that out if you want to hear about the game itself. But if you are ready to find out what comes in here, how it works, how you incorporate it, then stick around, and I'm going to see you after the explanation for some final thoughts. So here's everything that comes with the Extraction expansion to Sub Terra. You are going to get a new character, the Mercenary, with their appropriate little meeple and their token necessary for one of their actions. You are also going to get, for the main module that this adds to the game, 2 new spawn tiles with 3 exits each, something not seen in the base game. And you get this Sanctuary tile, which is a safe space from monsters. They just count it as an empty space, in fact. Then you also get these 3 biosample cards and the Leaper cards, which are represented by these 3 tokens here. We had in the original game, we had the horrors that look like this, and now you've got these Leapers. So the idea is you are going to set up the game if you want to play with this module, shuffle these 3 in, and then remove 3 randomly. You give 3 of the cavers a biosample each, and then you figure out which of these get shuffled into the deck of cards, and you set that deck up. The Leapers behave just like horrors. They are the same thing. Whenever something moves horrors, it moves Leapers, etc. The difference is when they move 2 times instead of once, like the original ones, and when they finally encounter a player, it's possible they might not outright kill them. When they encounter them, the players take 2 hits, and then the Leaper is removed from the game. So they are faster, slightly less dangerous, but they are much more likely to get to you. And with 2 new spawn tiles in the deck, possibly, then it's also more likely that they will show up in the game. The biosamples, the thematic idea is that you are acquiring biosamples and then, going back into the cave, getting these biosamples, and then leaving the cave. If you are able to do that, explore the cave and leave, then you, of course, win the game. However, while players are carrying these, they are at -1 to every die roll they make. And so they are going to have a much tougher time of it carrying these biosamples. The rulebook does not specify if these are can be transferred. I assume that they are handled the same way that cards in the other 2 expansions are handled, which is for 1 of your action points, you can transfer 1 to someone else in your space. Unfortunately, I feel like that was simply a mistake in the rulebook, that is a rule, because otherwise, if a player carrying one of these drops cannot be revived, etc., then you've lost the game because you need to win with all 3 of these. So I assume that's the case. The character, the Mercenary, is a very cool character here. They have 2 powers, of course. The top one, Fortify, for 2 of their action points, i.e. probably their entire turn. They get to plant themselves where they are, fortify that spot, and as long as they're there and conscious and don't move again, if a horror would move onto their tile, it's eliminated. You just take it out. And then the Survey power, which is fantastic, allows you for a single action point to perform 2 reveal actions next to you. So with this character, you get to look ahead and do so more quickly than with a regular reveal action, which allows you to only look at 1 tile. This is safe and quick. It's a good combination, this character. So that's the Mercenary. And as I said, the Leapers are the other main idea in the game, which pretty much just make the game harder. That's what they do. As I said, there's what I suspect anyway is a small mistake in the rulebook. Maybe not that small if this is the only of the 3 expansions you have. But let's go back up top and let me tell you where I rank this expansion in comparison to the other ones, and if I think if I would recommend that you go and pick it up. Here we go. Alright, so let me give you a few final thoughts here. I'm not going to be doing a target audience system for this one. It's a fairly small expansion. I just sort of want to talk about it a little bit. I will start with, this is my least favorite of all 3 expansions. If you haven't seen those videos, by the way, go and check them out for the other 2 expansions. They're called Annihilation and Investigation. The Extraction module is my least favorite for a couple of different reasons. I find that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the characters who are going into the cave to extract biosamples to have them already off the bat. It would be a lot more thematic if we were looking for tiles that contained biosamples, or maybe when we found a horror cave, we could get a biosample there, and from that point on had to suffer with that penalty. It does not feel thematic to me to be stuck with that hindrance right off the bat. The other thing is, it's just really punishing. It feels like it was simply designed to make the game harder. And I personally find the game pretty hard as it is, even on the simplest, easiest level. So I don't, unfortunately, feel like I have a ton of use for this one. The character itself that comes in here, the mercenary here, I think is great. I like the character. I think it's a very nice addition. It's one I'm happy to play with. I like her power to sort of slow down the horrors, slow down the threat a little bit. I like the survey power that lets you reveal tiles around you a little bit more quickly. So it's a great character. I'm very happy with that. It's the rest of the stuff that's in here that I'm not sure I feel is very compelling. I enjoy the idea of the leapers. I think it's neat having multiple kinds of monsters. That's cool. I'm just not sure how I feel about the whole biosample thing, and going into the cave already with them. Hold on, what's that? Why am I being penalized right away? There would have been a cooler way to implement that in both a slightly more forgiving way and a more thematic way. So, as I said, this is my least favorite of all 3. I enjoy it, it's fine, and I still would recommend it, especially if you're a big fan of Sub Terra. But if you're purchasing these not all at once, I would certainly say this should be the last one you pick up, alright? So, there you go, that's Extraction for Sub Terra. As I said just a minute ago, if you have not seen the review for the other 2 expansions for the game, or perhaps the game itself, not sure why you got this far without knowing what I'm talking about largely, but anyway, that's okay. Thanks for being here. If you haven't seen this or you haven't seen the other 2, go and check those out as well. Thanks for checking this out with me. I will see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.